Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
Happy Wednesday.
Yep.
Happy Wednesday. I'm on 5 hours of sleep, guys.
That's what happens on Fennick Wednesdays. I want to say Fridays so bad.
It's not Friday. We all wish it was Friday, but it's not Friday. But you guys, welcome to today's show. We have a lot of fun topics. Well, not super fun, but they are topics. And today we are talking about Morbius delayed.
For the 7th time, huh?
Supposedly, I actually wasn't going to read that. Why are you reading my stuff?
I'm sorry, but Hong Kong Disney is also
there.
Hong Kong Disney also closes for an extended period.
We have an award show update for you as far as the Grammys and Golden Globes go,
and also virtual viral social media story. I can't read it anymore because you clicked away from it.
I clicked away. Here, continue.
Dear David Rapp's production.
So that's like an interesting little tidbit that I wanted to put in. So we'll go into Dear David towards the end of the show. And sorry guys for the a little bit of mess up in the intro there. We normally do a quick run through and we didn't have time for that today because I asked Dustin to go and pick up our packages. Well, more like he volunteered, I was gonna go, but then we added an extra stop to his journey, and that took a lot longer than
and it all went wrong.
Pretty much.
So, but we're here, we're ready, we're going. Well, we're going.
We are going. So, we hope you guys are having a good Wednesday. We have a couple of new videos up on the channel. You probably have seen some of them already, but in case you haven't, we have the Wheel of Time episode 2 reaction that is up right now, as well as episode 2 for the Book of Boba Fett. And we normally save our spoiler talk for Boba Fett for Saturday. So if you would be so kind in the chat and in the comments as well, if you're watching this on the VOD later, to kind of refrain from putting any spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett for those folks who haven't had the time to watch it yet, because, you know, it does come out at like 3 a.m., for the folks on the East Coast. So we will talk about it on Saturday.
If you want to be safe, just don't look in the comment section down below.
This is true.
Journey into the comment section at your own risk.
Always.
So that's true for everything in life, I believe.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the first topic, which is Morbius, let's get into the super chat from Marvin Martin.
Marvin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Marvin writes, "My Baby Unicorn app."
Oh, an app. I think Wendy has a new game that she's going to be downloading soon.
Let's see. This is the Creature Unicorn Poem, The Principal, Dangerous Minds with Motorcycles. Interesting.
Ooh.
And China Girl, Nun Music, Chinatown, West Side Story. Ooh, those are great.
I like those recommendations.
Thank you. Oh, I really want to look
Click
up
and save.
My Baby Unicorn. Do I get to grow a baby unicorn? Is that what it is?
I wouldn't be surprised that it's kind of like what is that called? What is it? What was that app? That little toy that's making its way back again? A Tamagotchi.
Little egg.
I actually never had one because I think I was playing with one and I instantaneously killed it.
Oh
and
my
I have
gosh.
no idea how I did that. And then ever since then, I'm just like, okay, I don't get it.
So there's actually two versions. There is My Baby Unicorn and there's My Baby Unicorn 2. You care for a cute rainbow creature and it looks 100%. It's very like Lisa Frank. I might have to download it. Uh-oh, what are you doing to me, Marvin?
Wendy's, because you know what? Honestly, it's funny because there are some games that just scream to Wendy. What is it? On the last
cute Lisa Frank
on the last Twitch live stream that she did, she was playing this one game called Unpacked or Packed? Unpacking. And I was like, I just happened to be at work and I brought up Wendy's live stream and I saw this game and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect game for Wendy. This is such like a little neat and decluttering and organizing kind of a game. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's going to have so much fun with this.
Oh, absolutely. I have way too much fun with it.
It really does feed that, what is it called? That OCD in all of us.
Yeah, just so I can kind of try to Marie Kondo it's supposed to, that game Unpacking, it's available on Steam. You can get it for the Switch. It's a single player. It's meant to be like a Zen puzzle. So basically you're kind of tracking whoever you're playing as, you're kind of, it's a puzzle because you're trying to figure out who this person is based on the items you're unpacking. And you're also supposed to try to find a place for all the items, because sometimes you can't just be like, okay, put it away and you move on to the next room. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, it'll tell you this doesn't belong here. Like, I had a little diary with a lock on it. I was like, well, I'm gonna put it on the bed, and people were like, oh, put it on the desk. And I was like, well, I don't want my personal diary out in the open, because it's got one of those like plastic locks, you know, the kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody
I never had one because I never kept a diary, but I've seen them before.
Yeah. So if you have a similar key that fits in the hole, you just twist, or you can just pull it to break it. Like, I just felt like it was kind of personal, and I felt like it was more of a vibe to like leave on the bed under the pillow or something like that. It didn't let me do that, so I think I had to put it in like a shelf somewhere,
a drawer hidden away, a little secret compartment in the drawer, so no one would ever find it.
Debbie says, I'm going to download it. Yes. Marvin says, it's always the married ladies that say that to me. Let's see. Blake says, it was the perfect game until a pot started to trigger Wendy because it wouldn't go in the stove. I had to put it on the top of who puts pots up there?
No one. I mean, I can see you can put like little jars or something up on the top, but I remember seeing that when I was watching you live stream for a little bit, going, where does this, it was like one of those little handle pots.
I want my kitchen, I want my home to look like no one's lived in it. I want it to look like a model home, and my home right now doesn't look like that, and it's stressing me the F out. But in any case,
we need to do just a little bit of purging from our apartment, though. We just got so much like stuff.
Yeah. White Raven 696 says, does this spark joy thing is such a meme now. LOL. Marie Kondo must be making bank. She's a very smart lady. I'll tell you that right now. She's a very smart lady. Let's see. Okay.
But thank you, Martin. Those are awesome recommendations. I actually want to take a look at that unicorn app too, just because I think it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be cute.
It's just, well, I'll just watch Wendy play it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Because I'll just get a little bit of joy out of Wendy playing and going, oh my God, you're so cute.
Brennan Mars in the chat, who has finally gotten his first class league Schmodown belt.
The championship Star Wars belt. Congratulations,
Brennan Mars. All right, you guys.
Yeah, because when I was streaming last, he was telling me about the fact that it was on the way in the mail, and that is just so cool that he has it.
I like that. Yeah, they actually physically mail it to him, so he can at least have it for while he's the champ.
Yeah, you can hold it above your head and do like the whole WrestleMania kind of championship pose.
You can pose with it. All right, so because it's not like really a belt you wear, you know what I mean?
I think that'd be funny. Just walk around like downtown Burbank or something with just the belt. Just the belt. Be like, I'm the Schmodown Star Wars champion.
That's me. All right, guys, let's talk about Morbius, because I actually was not expecting this to happen.
No.
But it did. So Morbius, Sony has pushed back the release date for Jared Leto's Marvel film. So this is not even the first time that it's been pushed back. I did read a headline somewhere that it's been pushed back 7 times. Sounds like the New Mutants. Remember how many times the New Mutants?
Oh my gosh, the New Mutants got pushed back so much.
Yes.
Until they were finally like, just put it out there.
Yeah. So previously it was scheduled to open January 28th. And it was going to be like, just one of the first comic book movies that we were going to get for 2022. Yeah. Now we won't be able to get to see it until April 1st. So, I first initially thought, it's because of the Omicron surge, which I get, people are like, I cannot tell you how many of my personal friends, I'm getting text messages where I'm seeing it in like group chats or whatever. Hey, I have COVID. I'm like, what? I mean, I stay home. So I feel like really the only way for me to get it is if you caught it and you brought it home. That would be the only way. Cause I'm really trying to, out of the two of us, I'm like really trying to just hunker down at home. I'm a homebody anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. But it does work in a public space with people. So I feel like you're at a higher risk for exposure.
Yeah, I am. I mean, that's why I do get tested quite often.
Yes. But apparently, according to Deadline, it's actually not the motivation to push back Morbius. So it says here on the Deadline article that one factor, okay, so maybe the Omicron is another factor.
It's probably just a couple different factors, and it makes sense.
But the one factor motivating the push was Sony's huge and continuing success with Spider-Man No Way Home, which has established itself as the highest grossing film of 2021 since its debut. And this has so far grossed over $1.37 billion,
which is
dollars
insane.
Worldwide. And it's looking to continue to play on the big screens and dates that are previously saved for Morbius, that's kind of like, look, if it's making money, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just people want to go and see this movie, and I'm telling you this, like, I've only gotten to see it twice. I don't think I'm gonna go back to the theater.
Only got to see it twice.
We were gonna go see it again on the big screen for Dustin, but right now I am not sure if that's the smartest move, sitting indoors with the mask on for like 2+ hours.
And the next time I see Spider-Man, I want to have a bucket of popcorn with me.
Right.
The last time we went to go see it, it was, it was a packed theater, and I was like, I just did not want to be like munching away on something with my mask off.
Right.
So.
And it was a crowded.
It was packed.
It was packed. It was sold out. So you know what? I can't even at this point like say I'm surprised or mad or disappointed when a film gets pushed back. When I hear it gets pushed back at this point, now we're 2 years into this pandemic, I'm kind of like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Because eventually it's not like it's scrapped. Now that would be disappointing news.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But it's not scrapped.
It's so far along. I mean, it's ready to
done.
be released.
Yeah.
It is done.
So maybe now they have the time to go back and be like, oh, maybe I tweaked this a little bit more. Not as far as editing, but maybe some of the special visual effects, coloring, things like that, minor touches.
I don't even know if they would need to do that though anymore because it's been so long in post-production.
Editors,
true,
that's
but
kind of like, let me take another gander.
There's also sometimes when you try to if you're doing like your hair or something and you try to do something a little bit more and you're like, oh, I have some more time, I can still play with it, and you're like, nah, I like the way it was before.
Yeah,
kind of a thing. But also it makes a lot of sense that they did not expect Spider-Man to do, I mean, they expected it to do good, but just not like mind-blowing, off the wall, still steamrolling past anything else out there, still number one at the box office, kind of a thing. It's kind of like, hey, let it go, let it take its momentum. But I'm surprised that they pushed it back like 3 months. I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe if it is the momentum of Spider-Man, maybe push it back like say a month, maybe a month and a half, but all the way back to April. But of course, in April, then you won't have to worry about Omicron.
But you also have to think about what other films did Sony have in its slot that needed to come out maybe in February, and something that they don't want to compete against. Like, when is Doctor Strange's February, right? So if they push it back a month, it goes up against Doctor Strange. And obviously the two movies are nothing alike. And I'm not one of those, like, just because you see one comic book movie, you can't see the other. Like, no, there's different days and different times that you can go, even if you can't go opening weekend. So I don't feel like, for me personally, I don't understand the headbutting thing, but that's important to studios. They don't want to kind of go up against like, oh, like this film's coming out, maybe we like move it to a different weekend. So because everybody wants their film to thrive and make money and have people come and see it. And just in case there are people who, have to say, well, I'm busy, or like I have, a financial like boundary I need to set. I can't go see both movies on both opening weekends. So they're trying to make the best it can be. And I imagine this is the right decision that the studio feels. Just a little bit bummed that it is delayed, but it's not scrapped and we'll still get to see it. So
now,
that'll be good.
There is one comment in the chat that I'm like, ooh, this is a nice, juicy little conspiracy theory.
Is this spoiler territory, perhaps?
Oh, a little bit for
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay, hold on a second.
It's this one.
Well, let me see. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I know which one Dustin is seeing, and you guys might see it in the chat too if you look. I worry about saying it out loud because we haven't really publicly discussed any spoiler for No Way Home. I imagine everybody at this point have had a chance to see it yet, but I still kind of worry about it. So we're gonna. No problem. But I like the conspiracy theory. Yes, that's placed in there. I mean, if there is, that's cool. I would welcome it with open arms. Let's go ahead and move on to yeah, because there are some people that it has not released. Uncharted comes out February 18th. They're not going to push that one. No, that makes sense. I mean, they could, but they're not going to. They don't have to. So.
Yeah. And it's easier to move just one movie than it is to move 2 movies.
Yes, and Doctor Strange is in May, not in February.
Okay, so yeah, April's probably a good place to drop Morbius.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next topic here, and that is about Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, which for the second time, now that we've been in the pandemic, has decided to close again due to the Omicron surge.
The second time I heard it, it was like, I thought somewhere in there.
Well, they closed they were one of the first Disney parks to close, I believe. Universal, I remember being the very first one to close. And then I think Hong Kong closed. And then the rest of the Disneylands and other theme parks, most theme parks follow suit. So according to Deadline, the local government in Hong Kong is putting in place a more strict COVID measures. And that includes closing all theme parks and restricting flights due to the fear over the outbreak of the Omicron. So because of that, Disneyland Hong Kong is shutting down the park starting in 2 days. So from January 7th to January 7th to the 20th, according to Reuters. So this move means the park will have to be closed. Oh my gosh, you're right. They've closed more than twice.
Yeah, I think they've closed like
5 separate occasions during the pandemic because they did close briefly late 2021, which it was so brief that I kind of forgot about it. So yeah, Hong Kong right now is kind of getting ready for the 5th wave of this thing. Just awful. So, 2 weeks is better than like indefinite.
Yeah.
And it's not just like for me because I can't even access Hong Kong on Disney tomorrow, even if I wanted to. So it's not like I'm missing out on it, but I think of the people who work.
Yeah. All the jobs, all people's livelihoods.
Yeah. And like, I don't know how, like, if they don't work, do they still get paid? Because it's obviously not the US. So I don't know the labor laws over there and how unemployment work. If they have a program like that, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
So closing 2 weeks is better than because you have a time to be like, okay, I have this period of time, maybe to go find another job somewhere else for that time period. And then when Hong Kong Disneyland opens back up, we'll see. But I wonder if this kind of if this is just it'll stay just pertaining to Hong Kong, or if this is going to kind of spread again. And like Shanghai would be like, well, we're nervous too, so we're going to close. And then like Paris, and I think Leo put in the chat earlier that and you mentioned this as well, there's a new variant that's been found.
That's popping up in France.
This is what viruses do. They're going to mutate. This is what they do. Hopefully they don't mutate to something worse than what we have now, because that'd be terrible. Knock on wood. Don't want that. So yeah, it's not forever. It's just 2 weeks out of precaution. And, after I think at the 2 weeks mark, so right before they get to the 20th, they're going to reassess. And we'll find out if they're like, okay, this is the waiting period. We did the 2 weeks. Cases seem okay. We can open it back up. Or if the cases keep climbing, I imagine if that's the case, the government's going to say, no, you have to stay closed. So that could change. This is nothing is set in stone like this. Blade says, man, Disney playing red light, green light with these Disney parks more than Squid Game. Speaking of Squid Game, Dustin and I tried this game. I downloaded Steam, and I've got some issues with it. I'm gonna try to troubleshoot and test out certain things today. But we decided we were gonna download this. It's a kind of like a parody satire to the Squid Game. It's called Crab Game, and it's got kind of the a Squid Game rap over it. I'm terrible at it. Dustin won every single time. I was awful.
Some of them were just because I happened to survive.
Yeah, Crab Games. Let me see if I can pull up I have so many things open right now. It's crazy. But let me see, because I'm working on.
Show up like a picture of it.
I'm working on like a Fennec Shand Disney bound, so I have a lot of research tabs open that I should have closed. But let me see if I can find a Crab Game just video real quick to share with you guys.
And I do have to admit, I mean, it is definitely something that someone whipped together really fast to actually go off of the what is that called? The popularity of Squid Game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the graphics are a little weird. I mean, I think the people's eyes are bigger than their hands.
It's kind of funny to me.
So it is an interesting game.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I gotta find. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
We're gonna share this.
And here is what's Crab Game looks like.
So this is essentially what it looks like. This is what I'm not gonna play the sound just in case, but this is the lobby where you would wait for the game to start.
Where everyone's bunks were.
And then there's different, it's very similar to, if you saw Squid Game, you understand the game because they're kind of, so this one's like the dorm light's been turned out and you have a bat and you got to like hit people. This one's essentially the red light, green light stuff. And there's the platform game. You can throw snowballs at people, which I was really bad at. I haven't played video games on using the keyboard and mouse in a really long time. And it showed. So yeah, this is like the glass game.
I find it funny too because
I wouldn't be able to do this. I was so bad at this.
And what was it? It was when the people died. They didn't just get shot in the head. They just went, and you just saw body parts flying everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like, okay.
That essentially is Crab Games. It's available on Steam. It's free to play.
Yeah,
it's free to play. Anybody who has Steam, it's it's available. Okay, should we move on to the next topic?
Next topic.
Next topic. We're talking about a little bit of award show updates here. So let's first talk about. I got to bring up my notes here. Let's talk about the Grammy, which similarly in line with why isn't this opening up? There we go. With the Hong Kong Disney news, it is postponed. So originally it was going to air, I think, January 31st, and due to the Omicron, sounds like a transformer.
I know. Every time I say it, I feel like we're talking about some kind of like high-tech alien invasion or something. And I was just like, the Omicron.
Yeah. So because of it, they've completely postponed the event. They haven't even announced a new date yet. I'm imagining that they're maybe looking for a different venue. And actually says in this article that I'm reading that they are maybe taking a look at the Hollywood Bowl because it's outside. I just imagine like it's less comfortable, and in the winter it's cold.
Oh yeah.
So like there's gonna have to be a lot of heat lamps and blankets, and
you're probably not gonna get anyone who actually like any big name celebrities.
I mean, it's the Grammys
who want to go out and sit in the cold.
Correct.
And unless you did it like. You made sure you did it like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
To where you actually will get the heat of the sun kind of helping you out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be either at the tail end in the middle or in the tail end of winter.
I mean, they haven't discussed or announced if they've landed on a new date or a new venue. So we'll see. The Grammys isn't something I've like tuned in, but I do keep my eyes on like performances, who's winning and stuff. Obviously, if BTS is involved, I'm like, oh, I'm watching. But usually they win, so I'm not like too worried about it. But it's just kind of sad because I know some people live for these award shows and they're really into music. They want to see their artists win and be recognized, and that's a little sad. Similarly, with the Golden Globes, they're doing something a little different this year as well. So they are actually doing a very small, I don't believe they have postponed. I think it's still going to be in like 4 days. I think January 9th. Yeah.
It's right around. Yeah. It's just in a few days.
Right around the corner.
But they're not going to have any press nor any celebrities.
Yeah. Or audience members to, kind of get this just so we don't infect more people than necessary, which is interesting. So it's kind of like if you're having this award, but you're not inviting the A-list talents, actors, writers, producers, cinematographers, anybody who would be up for an award. You're not having press. Like, are you really having an event? And then what I also read is that, and I think they're just inviting like a small group of like members.
Yeah.
Which I get the safety thing, but I think at this point maybe just switch it and just do it virtually. Like I think yes, it's not as grand and fun, but we've all gotten so used to seeing things virtually. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think people should still be recognized for their hard work and their awards, even if it's less glamorous. So according to Variety, there also will be no celebrity presenters when they announce their winners this year on January 9th, which is, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So Variety apparently has obtained a copy of an email from the Globe's talent booker that was sent to several publicity agencies inquiring about their talents participating in the show. However, the sources say no celebs have agreed to take part. So this is the quote here. Quote, The Golden Globes will move forward with a small event on January 9th that will not only award the best performances in television and movies and films for 2021, but also on recognizing the importance of supporting diverse creative across the industry. The event this year will celebrate and honor a variety of diverse, community-based programs that empower inclusive filmmakers and journalists to pursue their storytelling passions. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association have financially supported important undeserved organizations for decades and will continue to invest in the future leaders of our industry. So no other details about how they plan to do the reveal for the winner. Maybe it's going to be like they'll hire an announcer and they will have like title cards flying in and out. Or so, I don't know. I feel like at this point we should have just gone virtual.
Yeah, and they almost should have planned for it to be like mostly virtual. Hey, what should we do in the case of?
Yes.
Kind of a thing. And I can't remember.
Haven't we learned we should always have a backup plan at this point? Haven't we learned?
And also, I think, was it the Golden Globes last year that actually had like the person go to the house of the celebrity in the hazmat suit that looked like a tuxedo?
Wasn't that the Oscars?
Was it the Oscars?
Or was that the Emmy?
Or maybe it was
It may have been the Emmy.
They all, I mean, since they're all now virtual, they all kind of did last year, just kind of like mush into one big kind of award ceremony.
I don't know.
So, I mean, honestly, it seemed like they could really just do that.
It was the Emmys.
Okay.
Ruru2. Thank you, Ruru2. Wasted Poe is here in the chat who says, oh, I lost the comment. No.
What? Huh?
I lost the comment. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
I'm sure most of paring down the Golden Globes is due to safety, but I wonder if at least it's a little bit not like not having any celebrities is because their image is still tainted from last year. And notice, that's a good point, because notice in that email that was quoted in the article there that I just read, they used the word diverse twice. Or really learned a new vocabulary. It's diverse and diversity, and we're going to drive it home. It's kind of like, yes, it's great to say we want to celebrate diverse talent and we want to celebrate, embrace diversity, but you should say it, but you should also show it. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see how it moves forward. But I think, Wasted Poe kind of has a point there.
I mean, and this wouldn't be the first time that certain entities, certain companies or businesses would say, oh yeah, we're doing this because of this reason. But in actuality, they're doing it because of bad press, or because
no one's actually coming.
Yes, or because no one is coming.
I mean,
oh yeah, we are concerned about the health and safety of our people we invited, who rejected our invitation and are not coming. I
mean, it's called Hollywood Foreign Press. And remember, was it the Golden Globes that was like Minari is not an American film? Were they the ones that said that? That pissed me off. I think they were. I don't think it was the Oscars,
because they were. Because the Minari won for best foreign
film, because they said that the film was it should be the amount of English spoken. Sorry, the amount of Korean was spoken was greater than English, therefore it was a foreign film, or something silly like that. And I was like, but it was made by an American filmmaker, filmed in America by an American production company. So what is foreign about this? Just because we speak a different language?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wonder what would happen.
Still salty about it, apparently.
Does that mean, like, what is it? The Star Wars Holiday Special is technically a Wookiee film, because most of that show is them going and just having whole full-on conversations in Wookiee. So that means it is a Wookiee film.
Yeah. So
by Wookiee Productions.
Exactly. In any case, I guess we will keep our eyes on how they handle the Golden Globes this year. I'm very curious. Even the Critics Association that I'm a part of, the Hollywood Critics Association, we delayed our in-person one. I actually wasn't going to go because I thought I had some conflicts, but those conflicts have been pushed back because of the Omicron, but the award has also been pushed back because of the Omicron. I don't know when the new date is, but I also don't know if I'm gonna attend if it's in person. Just rather keep it safe, and if it's outside, I know I'm gonna be freezing, and I don't want to. I want to go
and enjoy myself, not worry that I'm going to get frostbite.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Waste the Post says, yeah, even if it's just doing it virtually, they still could have had celebrity participate. I think most celebrities don't want to be associated with what's thought of as a corrupt thing now. They gotta really get it together. Get it together. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Okay, great. It's this fun one. All right. So I pulled this story. It's not a big story. I think most people wouldn't even know what you're looking at. Like, what the hell is a Dear David? But I went down the Dear David rabbit hole back in 2017. So a little backstory. It's a social media phenomenon / maybe urban legend. I don't know if the story is true. I don't know if it's false, if it's a hoax, if it's very creative storytelling by one Adam Ellis is the person who it was a thread on Twitter. He just tweeted about it. So, and he used to work for BuzzFeed, and I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was like a kind of like he was in the long game to like, I'm gonna build interest, because BuzzFeed's pretty good at that. A lot of the producers, writers, creative minds from BuzzFeed who have, whether they've stayed with BuzzFeed or like left BuzzFeed, like Sophia, have like gone on to create really awesome content. So I don't know if this is part of it. Like, if you start the campaign to garner interest in 2017, and then now in 2022, like your movie just wrapped production, and there is like a celebrity, there's an actor playing you, Adam Ellis, like that's pretty freaking cool. So I don't know if it's real or not, because by the time I got to the end of the story, I was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like for me, the storytelling kind of, but it could be real. I don't know. Okay, so real quick, let me see if I can find the original. Oh man, where is the original Dear David stuff? Yeah, it all happened on Twitter. It's a ghost story. So Adam Ellis started to tweet about his accounts of living in this apartment, and he says he thinks there's a ghost boy haunting me who lives in this apartment. I think his name is David. There's like a little sketch. There's been photos. There's Polaroids. His cats act weird. He find weird shit in the attic. The color green kind of comes into play a little bit. It gets like, ooh, I got chills. It gets a little weird. And the story telling was so good at some points. I was just like, I don't even care if this is fake. Like, this is great storytelling. I was in it and I followed it for a long time. So let me just look up the Dear David
the Dear David story.
The origin.
Honestly, this is a story that Wendy put in that I actually have no recollection of, because I don't
think I would have told it to you, because it's not something.
It's not something that I'm normally, yay, scary ghost stories kind of a thing.
Yeah, but if you guys are into the hi Vanja, how are you? But if you guys are into horror stories, so this is first tweeted this August 7th, 2017, and he says, so my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. A thread. And I was like,
that's just how it started off.
I don't even know how this got across my timeline, because I don't remember clicking on a hashtag that said Dear David.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so he started appearing in dreams. I'm just reading the tweets. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. And I was like, oh, okay. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in a green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it, and here is what one oh boy, hold on. One David looks there.
Focus.
That's what he looks like. That's the drawing that he made. Okay. And let's see. I'll just read a little bit more. For a while, he just stared at me. Then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty.
I couldn't move because I was paralyzed, because sleep paralysis is a real thing. I dated a guy who had it.
To where they're like awake, but they can't move.
Yeah,
right?
it freaks them the F out. It would freak me out too. And he says, like, I have sleep paralysis fairly often, and it sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later where I was in a library, and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I was like, "Who?" And she said, "Dear David, you saw him." She continued, "He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you say, Dear David, first. Then she added, but never try to ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you. I was very shaken. Having 2 dreams about the same thing is pretty weird. Anyway, a couple of weeks passed without incident. Then David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed and he was sitting in the rocking chair near the window staring at me. In the dream, I say, Dear David, how did you die? I'm like, you don't. Yeah, you should have just looked at him and just zipped your mouth and not said anything.
No talkie.
Yeah, but he mumbled.
Nothing comes good to talking to ghosts.
In the store. Anyway, if you guys Google Dear David, you will go down the rabbit hole of the thing that is Dear David. But I would like to report that it is now being turned into a movie. I think I heard about this a while ago, and also the guy who tweeted it, because he tweeted out the story, he gained over 1 million followers because of. I mean, I followed because I was like, I want to know what's up, you know.
It sounds like, yeah. I mean, that's a really good way to start. You just start creating this.
The buzz around this film is like started 2017, and now people want to go see this film. So the cast includes Justin Long, Augustus Prue, who is going to be in Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings series, and Andrea Bang or Bung from A Million Little Things, who have joined the cast of Dear David. That is actually being produced by BuzzFeed Studios and Lionsgate. So I just had to put that in the lineup because I felt like it was like a thing that I followed for so long until we got to the end where I was like, meh, this fake. Maybe.
Well, you never know. I mean, it really did start off very kind of just small about something. It's just him putting down his experiences in a tweet. And then I'm pretty sure as it started rolling, it started as getting more and more popularity. You're like, hey, this is a pretty good story just to be able to do something with, and it just took years for them to develop it.
It honestly didn't really get like it. What I was interested, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." But when the photo evidence started coming through, and people were like looking at the photos, or kind of like, "Okay, let me turn up the exposure," and they saw certain shapes and things, then I was like, "That could be either really good Photoshop by the original poster, the person who's writing the thread, or maybe he is capturing something." And there's just kind of that mysterious, like, is it or isn't it situation where you kind of like, I want to believe, but I also don't want to believe because that's scary AF. So yeah, that's the gist of the Dear David story that I felt like I had to talk about today.
And honestly, it's always funny to see how some of these projects start.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, it just starts with like this cult phenomenon kind of thing to where, you know, things from like Blair Witch, from all of these little horror stories. And then someone just kind of like, since it has such a cult following, you're like, this is just perfectly ripe to be able to create a really deep and maybe not a deep, but a really interesting movie out of.
Absolutely. Wasted Post says, it does sound like a brilliant marketing campaign. If not, then I'm jealous of the guy who posted the story. I assume he's been paid for the rights. I would hope so. And I like to say he no longer works. When he posted the story, he was already a former BuzzFeed.
Oh, so he didn't work at BuzzFeed anymore when he started posting this.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Marvin says, yeah, I think a couple of you guys are saying it. Marvin, I think Blade said it too. Sounds like Slender Man or Creepypasta.
Creepypasta?
It's like that horror. You wouldn't know it. It's a horror.
I mean,
horror
I know
stuff.
Slender Man because they made a video game out of it.
Yeah, but it's based on a similar situation, like kind of like this.
Where someone kind of started a little story and then it just grew and grew and grew.
Slender Man is also creepy AF too.
With the really long arms.
Yeah, I don't like it. So yeah, those are all the stories we have today for you for the live stream, guys. If you're not easily creeped out, I encourage you to kind of take the rabbit hole dive into Dear David. The storytelling gets pretty cool. It does falter a little bit for me at the end where I was kind of like, this fake, but I don't know.
It's still a good story. It's still a good journey. Yeah, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
I actually liked hearing what Wendy told about it, kind of a thing.
There's more.
It's one of those things that you're like, this is a good premise, you know. That's what the things about horror is, that you can start off with kind of this really cool idea, and sometimes as you just go down the rabbit hole, sometimes you'll find gold and you'll be like, oh, this is awesome how it was developed and told, and sometimes you're just like, nah, and they lost me.
What's cool is, like I said, later on he has video and photo evidence, and the cats acting weird, and not just one cat. He's got several cats, and they're all like doing the weird like. And they all just like meow and hiss at the door. I'm like, what is there? What is it? And then there's like he takes a Polaroid. He opens the door into the dark hallway because the cats keep meowing at it. So he opened the door and he clicked it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just all black.
Oh.
Several times. Because he would take it, you would see it come out of the camera, and it just wouldn't. But you saw him take the picture, so it's not like he's covering the lens to make it like you're. Then that's what kind of made me go, could this man be haunted? I wouldn't want to be haunted. I would sage the place up. I would call Grace over and be like, "You Reiki this whole place right now." I'm not having any of that.
That's actually something we kind of need to do for our place.
Yeah, we can sage. We have to open the windows so we can smoke all the rooms and stuff. Yeah.
I have no idea how that works though.
You just light the smudge stick and then you just,
go all over the place.
I can call Grace and she can walk me through it probably. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. I know it's a shorter live stream today. The topics, this time of the year, usually a little bit slower, but we will be back on Saturday to talk all Boba Fett. Spoiler for you. If you haven't watched it yet, I hope you have time between now and our live stream on Saturday to watch it because this episode is so good. I hope from here on out we just ramp up and we just like speed racer towards hop on a speeder and just race towards the finish line and we have 6 more episodes. So I'm very, very excited for where this series is headed. I can't say anything right now because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for anybody.
Don't want to throw any spoilers out there. So yeah, we want to save all of that for Saturday.
So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we have new videos up, when we go live. And we will be back at 2 p.m. TT on Saturday right here on the Movie Couple channel to talk all about the book of Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett, chapter 2. It's so good, guys. All right. We love you so much. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you real soon. Oh, wait. Before we go, Dustin may be streaming later.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Depending on how I feel today.
Okay, maybe.
I'll try. I'll send out a note on my Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We love you guys. Talk to you soon.